Hello, everybody. Welcome to the sound test room. This evening, yes, we are taking a look at multi-track audio recorder by 4Pockets. And as always, I am just going to get on my stream so I can see the chat feed properly and to see who is here. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. Excuse me. Right. Okay, so we're going to go through the basics of multi-track recorder. And let's see. So Nate's here. When does it start? It started now, Nate. AJ's here. Paul, musician. Oh, hello, Paul. Paul's here. Meerkat's here. And Wall's here. Wait. Okay, so can you all hear me okay? I'm guessing after Doug's had his third rum and coke. Right. Okay, so, right, here we go. So we're going to go through, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically show you a little session that I did today first, and I'm going to record some extra stuff into it as well. And then we'll start a completely fresh, blank session from scratch so you guys can get an idea of different ways you can use it, how to set it up properly, etc., stuff like that. So you will see that multi-track recorder, it allows you to record 8 tracks of audio inside your favorite AUM, or you can use it in other apps as well because it's AUV3, but it's like an audio recorder for the DAW, for AUM, which is fantastic because it's one of the things that AUM is like. We have Atom Piano Roll, which provides MIDI, and now we have this, which provides audio too. So here's the little thing I'm going to play. So you'll notice that first off, I'll use my thing. You have host sync enabled, so that when I press play in this, it will start to play multi-track. If I have host sync disabled, pressing play in AUM won't do anything at all. So, but we can use this to start it. So it doesn't really matter for now, but I'm going to use AUM's transport. So we're going to hit host sync, and don't worry, we'll go through remote and all the rest of it. So here's the little thing anyway we're going to do. Okay, so you get the idea. You get the idea there. So what we're going to do is record something onto track 6. Now you'll see that I have track 6 armed by just tapping this there. And this record button there will actually arm the whole thing to record. So if I push this now, I can play my strings from the MIDI keyboard here, from the Modi X. These are Modi X strings. And you'll see it there in the meter. But it won't do anything yet. We don't need to worry about the volume because we're only input monitoring. And if I switch monitor off, you won't hear anything. So make sure I have monitor on. I have stereo enabled because I want to record a stereo file. I have Snap-B switched on. I also do not need to punch in and punch out at this point in the recording. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm rewound. Now, if you try to use the internal sequencer transport while you're connected to the host, it won't let you. So all you need to do is do this. Now for this, to be honest with you, I don't really need to use AUM because I'm not recording any sequence data from AUM in there. I'm just recording the Modi X keyboard, so you know it doesn't really matter. But for the sake of what it is, we shall use the transport bar inside of AUM for this, and we don't need the metronome on because I have a pattern. So here we go. We'll go this now, and you'll see as soon as I press play, you'll see that we'll start to record onto this timeline here, like that. Okay, so obviously I'm not playing at the moment because I don't want my keyboards to start until here. So this is a good point. If I stop that there and show you, you'll see that there's nothing recorded there. So what we shall do is we shall cut that. And what that does is put track 6 with blank data straight into the audio pool. So the audio pool is everything that's used and not used in your song. So you will see, if we go to, well, it would be this one, S7 Wave, not used. We can just delete that altogether. Okay, so yes, we shall delete that, and now we're back to our blank thing sort of thing. So we can just start again. Don't worry, I'll go through all this, or otherwise it'll get confusing. So right, let's close this again, and I'll show you the punch in, punch out. So I said I want to start my strings from here, which is bar 9. So I'm going to draw a cross here like this in my loop marker points and just go to number 9 there. So hopefully I'll go and just expand this a little bit so I can see if I've got it right. So from bar 9 all the way up to bar 33, and actually I'll go a little bit further than that. So that's fine. And I'm going to engage here now. Let's close this up a little bit so we can see. I'm going to engage, punch in there and punch out. So what's going to happen is it's not going to start recording anything until it gets to bar 9, which is exactly where I want to start recording my strings. So, excuse me. Which is exactly where I want to start recording my strings from. So we're not having to worry about any blank audio data or anything like that. We're going to have a nice clean thing. So remember to arm record again. I'm just going to make sure that my thing is still on track there. And now when I press play inside of AUM, it won't start recording until it gets to bar 9. So that's great. So that's what we shall do. And when it starts to record, you'll notice that this flashing record button here, that will stay on lit red till it gets to the end. And I can have a practice now, you see. It'll start. So it's still recorded now. And and I don't have to worry about stopping it because it will just stop there, render the file, done deal. So we can stop it there on our AUM. We can go back, and anything that now is not used in this track, we could go into the audio pool and delete it. And there's only one thing that's not used, which is this made the queue complete. So while we're in this particular one, I want to show you how you can just drag files from the audio pool into the timeline. And then in the project we'll set up from scratch, I shall show you how to drag and drop audio clips and that from the Files app into the timeline, then also onto a track as well. Cool. So pretty straightforward. So now we've got 6 tracks recorded, and we can start to mix our tracks here. We can add some. Now Paul's included some very basic effects, a delay and a reverb. Most people are going to use their tracks, as you will see, they're going to want to apply effects before they use the recorder. So if I close that just for a sec, you will see that I have at some point a Rosetta rhythm in this, and here is my Modi X, and also a Ruse Maker. Now that Ruse Maker, every time I hit this, will play, but because the volume's down, you're not going to hear it because I have previously recorded that data into this, and I'll go show you how to do that as well. So, no, I'm not getting a roast tonight. No, we're having stew. We're having stew tonight. Stew, homemade stew. So, okay, so we're going to get into cut, copy, pasting, clip, looping, all sorts of stuff. But I want you to know the actual basics. So we've got 6 tracks recorded, and we could have another 2, but we don't need another 2. So now our track is basically complete. For what my purposes, I will show you how to drag and drop, but just let's make sure it's all right. Now at this point, when we're just playing back the track, you can disable host sync, it's fine, and then you can use the transport within inside multi-track. Yes, with dumplings, pal, yes. Well, by the time I've finished Meerkat music, Paul, you will definitely know all about that. Trust me. So, strings could be considered too loud. Let's resize this a sec. Just get rid of that. Okay, so you get the idea. Now, this is really important. Excuse me. Oh dear. The thing to do all the time is save the song. So click on song and save song. Do that lots and lots and lots and lots and lots. Okay, that's really important. Lots and lots and lots. And if we go into our audio pool now, you'll see the stuff that's included. So if it's not included, it says in use. If it's in use, it's in the track. If it's not in use, if it's not used, it's not in the track. If you hit tidy, anything that is not in this track will disappear, and it will be gone forever, never to be found anywhere else ever again. That's just important to remember. Okay, so unless if you've made loads of copies and test audio recordings and stuff like that, you can always just tidy it and it'll just leave the stuff that's in that song. However, any information that is saved as a song is there available in any version you open in any other door or even in standalone. But you must save the song. Saving the song is really, really important because that saves all the information, the audio and everything. Okay, regardless of what's in the audio pool per project. Okay, all right. So I hope you understand that. That's important. So, like I said about dropping clips in from the audio pool. So let's pick a blank track, which here is number 7, is our next available track. So let's just pick up our made a cue clip, complete this one here, and we can just drag it. We can drag it down, and we can then move it anywhere we like. So let's hold on to it there, and we can move it around. And let's have it start sort of there. Now this is just it's just a demonstration. You could actually, you could actually drop any kind of audio file in there. Plus this has all sorts of cool stuff like time stretching and things, which we'll get into in another video. I'll also get into using this in NS2, Nano Studio, in another video as well, because the way it works in that is slightly different. Again, because Nano Studio doesn't allow audio in. So is rarely not into this anyway. So let's click on there. Let's close this. Let's use our timeline now, and let's listen to this. Now we're in that track there, so it might be a little bit louder, and then I'll show you the effects and stuff. So here's our strings. Our strings are running along nicely there.
Why do you ask that?
Now this is just a clip from Les Productions Zvon, Daniel's sound packs. The thing is now, if you want to apply like panning, pointless me doing panning because it's in mono again. It was in stereo once last night, but there you go. Anyway, but if you want to apply an effect to a particular track, all you need to do is click on effects here, and you will see we've got some reverb. Now I've got some reverbs on track 6, which is the drums. So if I solo the drums, and this is the internal reverb, which is super CPU friendly. Can you? Yes, you can, Paul. Yeah, you can drag and drop from files. I'll show you that as well. No, this wasn't a clip. That wasn't a clip from last night, Paul. That is another clip from today. Right. Okay. So follow is self-explanatory. Follow will follow the cursor along as it tracks along. So it'll get to the end and it'll just carry on jumping, so you can see where you're at. Okay. So if we want to add something to this, what we do is we tap effects. If we wanted to put some reverb on that file there, let's do this. Start it from there. And let us play the file.
You asked that.
Now we've got some reverb on it. Or delay.
Leave me alone.
Now you have to, obviously, you hit effects again and it goes to the delay. Hit effects again and it goes to pan. So it toggles between effects. It toggles between pan, reverb and delay. So if we wanted some delay on that as well, we turn the delay up, and we can edit. We have some editing functions as well. So make sure your effects returns are enabled. Obviously, you can turn them off and there'll be no reverb or delay, no matter what you have these set at. Make sure they're switched on. If you want to edit delay, you just tap the edit and you've got delay time, feedback, stereo sort of thing. So if we kind of play this, in fact, just so to make a few adjustments, let's set our loop points. I'm going to set my loop points. This way it's better with my finger actually. So I'm going to set my loop points there and go back there and move this point further along here, so I can set it at the beginning of my thing there. And just for the sake of this, I'm going to switch loop on so it loops backwards and forwards while we're messing with the effects.
Why?
There you go.
Why do you ask that? Don't come any closer. Leave me alone.
So I've just put delay on there, took the reverb off.
Where can we get the brain?
Let's loop background, see, so we can carry on making adjustments.
Why do you ask that?
Okay, so Paul wants me to demo fade in and fade out. That's no problem. You have on each clip, if we hit zoom, ding, that's going to make it bigger, which makes editing a lot easier. So you have independent volume. If we use our case, we can see if we independent volume point here. So we can lower the clip here instead of using the actual fader up there. That's good if you've got a ton of clips and you want to make some adjustments between different clips and stuff. Fade in is this. So you drag the loop like that, fade in.
Why? Why do you ask that?
And then you could do fade out as well at the end. So we could go to there and say,
Leave me alone.
Where to begin the brain? Right to brain.
and that loop point there, we can switch that off now and it'll just end.
Why? Why do you ask that? Don't come any closer. Leave me alone.
Where to begin the brain? Right to brain.
Cool bananas, cool beans. That was right. Okay. So there you go. That's how you kind of do your fade in, fade in. You can split as well, and also yeah, you can shorten it as well. You can grab on the drag handles here and hang on a sec. Just make sure that can I drag on the drag? Hang on a minute. I think it was better. Some of these things are better with my fingers. Yeah, you can see like this. You get a crossfade there. Look. So you can drag on the audio and shorten it and stuff like that. You can split it, so you can set your cursor there. Use the little plus point. Hit split, and then you've got two sets of audio. Now they're both going to be exactly the same. Okay, so you'll see that if we wanted to make adjustments, once you split a piece of audio, it's exactly the same, but it won't double it up in the audio pool. You'll still only have like sample number 6, which is this MIDI. You'll only have the one of them in there, so don't worry, you're not going to end up with an audio pool chock full of stuff. You can duplicate the clip in the audio pool if you want to, and then rename it something else, and then you'll have two independent things to control, but these are all things that you can mess around with, you know what I mean? This is the self-explanatory stuff. I'm going to show you how to set it up. So we've done this, right? We've got that far. We can go on to start a new session. Otherwise, things will get confusing. I'm going to save that now. So overwrite that session. Yes. Done deal. And what we shall do is just clear this. And now I'm going to start a whole new session. So we'll do this ding audio, and then we'll go audio. And what I shall do is do something similar to what I did earlier on. Okay, so I also need a MIDI track. You don't need a MIDI track, obviously, to use multi-track recorder, but I do to do what I want to do. So I'm going to move my two audio tracks here and here. And this is how you set it up. And this is the absolute best way to set this up. We'll stick one of these in here as well, just in case I use it. I use something else. In this MIDI track, all I want this for is some drums. That's it. All I want to do is put a Rosetta. I'll put an XOX in here. Because all I want to do is, the only reason this is going in is for some rhythm. That's all. Because the way I want to show you how it's a very cool way to use audio recorder as well. So I'm going to go down and find XOX like this. And then I might as well put it in this one. In this first one here, I'm going to do audio unit, and I'm going to put just a ruse maker, just an ordinary ruse maker. And I'm just going to send that to XOX. So XOX is going to be playing Ruse Maker. If I press play now, we can go and create a pattern. Just for starters, before we've done anything else. Okay. So we can stop that now. So that's created a pattern for us, a drum pattern. which all that really is for me using as for timing, and also show you how to record something in. Again, here you can use any instrument you want, but for the sake of the fact that it's already there, I'm going to use my Modi X, which is going into the UR44 in channels 3 and 4. And there it is. But any instrument, any inter-app audio, anything that you've got going in there, your guitar, whatever, it doesn't matter. That's not important. Okay. We will find a different sound as well. I think some, I don't know, Rhodes or something. Or synth. I don't know. Whatever, it doesn't matter. And then in this one here, we're going to set mix bus. So this is the sort of way you need to pay attention, right? We need to put our multi-track audio recorder into an effects slot because that's how it reads. It passes audio through it like an effect sort of thing. To play something back, you do not need it in the effects slot. You could stick it in there and it would play back as normal. Okay? But to actually, for it to remember what you're doing, for it to record what you want it to record, you need to put it in an effects slot. So we'll go audio unit extension. I'll tap on this and we'll go multi-track. And there's multi-track there. So we shall open it like that though. And we need to, where it's got this output here, whatever it is, mix bus, you want to go to mix bus A. It doesn't really matter as long as this output here matches the input up here. So here's mix bus A. So we're sending from mix bus A, receiving to mix bus A. Okay. Yes, folks, strike the like, please. And if you're not a patron, consider becoming one, or super chat me in, or just say nice things. We go to audio multi-track now. Here's the key thing. Before you do anything, right, you will see that my tempo here is set at 90 BPM. I'm actually going to set this at 100 BPM. Okay, so when it finally gets up there, right, so 100 BPM. Set your tempo on before you do anything, set your tempo on multi-track to the same tempo as AUM. So the timelines wind up. Now, what will happen as soon as you save the song, as soon as you hit host sync, it will take on the tempo of AUM. But the timeline, you need the timeline to be synced as well, or things get confusing unless you're just recording loads of stuff. You know what I mean? So, right, here we go. Double tap that and set this to whatever your tempo is there. And in our case, it was 100. So, thanks, Amp Apps. Thank you. Much appreciated. So 100 BPM closed. Now, what we're going to do is save the song. Now, all my AUM sessions, because this is just an ordinary iPad and nothing special, just the entry-level iPad, AUM defaults to 44 hertz. Whereas iPad Pros and things, they're 48. Standalone version of multi-track will run at 48. But it will detect the song sample rate. However, once I save song, I'm going to go new song, super important, new song, and we're going to call this, it's, we're not going to call it, we're going to call it It's Sunday. With a capital S. We're going to call it It's Sunday. Okay, done. This is why it's important to create a song. Now, if you go to song again and you hit song details, you will see that your current sample rate is 44.1 and your song sample rate is 44.1. That's what you want. That's what you want it to be. Okay. And these are the things that you really want to do. I've created a new song. Look. Create new song. So that's what you want to do every single time, is create a new song. Right, so. And you'll also notice now that our tempo is 100 because we set it at that, so that's fine. Now, Okay, we need to decide what we want to record. So at the moment, you'll know that my Modx has got that synth comp sound, but you can't hear it, but you can see it. Okay, so to do this, we need to arm this record here, and we shall hit monitor, okay? And you'll see it there as well. And this is where you can get your levels. It does automatically set the tempo of the host, but does it set the timeline the same as well? Is that right? No, it doesn't. Oh, right. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. Just set it all up. Just follow the instructions and make sure you've saved your song. That's the important thing. Save your song. Save your song. Okay, so just let me wipe the screen. Make sure you save your song. Always save your song. Now, we know that we want to hit monitor. We want to hit arm so we can. So we can hear what's going on. I want to record this in stereo. So switch stereo on. Now, the thing is, right, I'm going to record some loops this time. I'm going to record maybe 2 or 3 loops. But I don't need a count and a metronome or anything because I've got my Rosetta providing rhythm, but I'm not going to record that yet. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to set some loop points. So I'm going to go from, say, go from 3 to that be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 8. 8 bars of loop to mess with, and then I'm going to put punch in and punch out. Okay. I'm just going to rewind that as well because at the moment I'm not synced to anything. Now, at the moment, I wouldn't necessarily need to have host sync on if I was just recording it into multi-track. However, I have my Ruse Maker providing some rhythm, and that's what I want to use to count in. So it's you're not in dreadful metronome clicky things. So I don't really know what I'm going to play. So we'll just have a mess around, but you're going to get the idea. And right, okay. So what am I going to do? Right, as soon as I'm going to hit host sync, okay, and not remote yet. So host sync. So as soon as I press play, what's going to happen is obviously Ruse Maker is going to play. And then when we get to bar 3, it's going to punch in and I can record for 8 bars. And then it'll drop out again because I've got punch in and punch out on. I'm going to record in stereo. So everything's set up. So I don't know. Right. Okay. I'll just mess around. Now, I wonder why it didn't record in stereo, and I wonder why it didn't start at bar 3. Right, okay. Right, I'm going to delete that one, cut that. I'm going to try that again. So, starting on bar 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Definitely got stereo armed. We can go all the way back to the beginning. Try again, not sure either. Right, okay. I'm going to try that again. So I'm 100% on bar 3 at the beginning. So it is now. And it will. It's on bar 11 as well. So that's right. That's right on it. Stereo is definitely armed. Stereo. Rightio, here we go. There's the remote. The remote sync is for. It's not. That's not what you use for. That's host sync. Remote has got nothing to do with this. That you don't want to be. You can't record with host sync switched on. You absolutely cannot record with host sync switched on. Anyway, right, here we go. So we're going to try this again. Now, that's my fault because I didn't rearm it. Because when it finishes, it's recording, it stops. So here we go. That's why it wasn't recording at what point last night. Yeah, no, but that was something else. That was this. You can't if you try to record with host sync, it won't work. You can't record with host sync. Right, success. Hey. So now we've recorded that one loop. Okay, so let's pick a different sound quickly. That'll do. I've no idea what I played there, but it's got to be an A minor, isn't it? Different high plays an A minor. Oh, it's not buffering again, is it? It's not doing that stupid buffering thing. Right, anyway, it doesn't matter. Now, this is important as well. We want to record this on track 2, so all we need to do is arm track 2. We know that host sync is switched on. That's absolutely fine. All we need to do is press record and play again. And I'm going to check my recorder's armed. I'm still in stereo. I'm still in punch. It's not here on my mobile, so that's okay then. Right, okay, good-o. No idea. Right, so I'm going to record this now. Right. The beans. So now we've got 2 tracks recorded, and on we could go. Okay. So now what we want to do is some cool stuff. Say, for instance, we now we just want that session. We just want that to loop in AUM. Now, this was super difficult because it was impossible before we had multi-track, because AUM does not have loop points, apart from the fact that it doesn't have an audio recorder, because that's not its job. It's an audio mixer, right? So here's the thing. What we want to do now is disengage host sync. Ding, right? We can switch punch in and punch out off as well, actually. What we're going to do is we're going to engage remote like this. So what will happen is it's not like synced now, but because they're running at the same tempo, when I press loop here, and we can actually do it from there, actually. We can do it from the loop points, because that's where you'd normally do it from. Actually, let me just set my loop point again. Oh, gosh, you know my... Right. When I press play inside of AUM now, this is going to play, but then it will just jump back and keep looping. The super cool advantages of this are that you can now go into now. Okay, and also remember, save song, people, save song, always save song. There are on-screen messages. Don't stand off. I did tell Paul that. I said, "Don't you need because keep your in-screen messages need to be on longer. I haven't got the eyes for it now." Right. So this means that we can start to make adjustments to things inside AUM. We can start adding tracks in that will just automatically play along. For instance, I don't want to record any more stuff on the Mode DX, right? So I can ditch that channel completely, remove it, it's gone. But of course, I still have the audio there. And my audio will still be in the pool. And there was the mistake I made earlier, right? When I said I deleted it. So we don't need that. Well, what we can do is just tidy up. Tidy, yes. And it gets rid of anything that's not used in the song, but the song is saved. I have saved that song, DJ Hear Damage. I have saved it. It is saved. It is done. Now, cool beans. So the remote is super cool because you want to set up a loop session and then start to do other stuff inside AUM. For instance, we're going to keep XOX. We're going to keep XOX and we're going to keep Rusemaker for a bit. That's fine. We're going to set up this is for speed purposes, okay? We're going to set up a noir. But it could literally be anything you like. It doesn't matter. Now, we can also, at this point, if we wanted to route noir into multi-track and record that, we could. Right? Okay, so, what we're going to do is not do that. We're going to have it play. But this is why looping is so bloody cool inside audio recorder. Let's start this off right now. Let's say I don't want to have anything starting. I just want to hear noir. So we'll just disengage that for now and we'll play. And then we shall go to noir, which is beautiful because it plays itself. We'll go to one of these. Very cool. So the only thing playing there is noir and Rusemaker. And I'm gonna go to Rosetta here, and I'm gonna say, right, okay, let's stop that thing and let's have a look how long our loop is. It's 8 bars long. Cool. Right, so we'll go back there now. We'll go to XOX. First pattern. We're gonna copy that pattern, and we're gonna go to pattern 2, which is blank. We play it. There's nothing there. We're gonna go paste. And then we're going to generate a new pattern. So now we've got 2 patterns playing, and we can swap between the 2. But if we go to manual change here, we'll go manual change, but then we'll go to next and then select that after 4 loops. We'll go to pattern 2. We'll go to manual change and then we'll go, no, let's go to first after 4 loops. So what will happen now is after 4 loops round, this will just keep swapping backwards and forwards. Theoretically. There we go. So now this is just going to keep swapping backwards and forwards. So now we can engage remotes again. Now the thing is, you can start to see now that if we take our two loops, and we can just put them basically now anyway, we can pick them up and we could move them there or anywhere else we like, and then we could take our loop point, put that there and say that there, like that. And then we could go all the way back to the beginning. So this isn't even going to start till bar 9, but it's still going to be remotely controlled. But once it gets to bar 9, because we've got our loop switched on there, it's just going to loop that as well, which is just epic. And at this point, there could be something else coming in, which is cool. Now, at this point, you might think, I don't want to do. But that's cool because we don't have to auto loop, do we? But what we can start to do now is if we want to. So imagine we've got a load of these, right? Let's just deselect. Let's just select one. Let's just put this one. Let's pick it up. And let's put that one there at bar 17. So although these were recorded as a loop, we've now split them up. And if we want to, we could say, let's just make sure the one we've highlighted, and we can go, well, okay, well, we can duplicate that. So now we've got two links as that. And let's go like this. Okay, well, let's deselect this one. Make sure that one's selected. And we'll duplicate that as well. But we'll move this one along here. But what we're going to do, okay, well, I want the noir now to record the whole thing. Okay, I want to record noir in, and I want to record it into track 3. Okay, so let's get that back to the beginning. And I'm not too fussed about it punching out, but I could set my loop point now at 30, maybe 37, maybe 2 bars after. It doesn't really matter, and then set my first one there at the beginning of bar 1, like that, and then make sure that I'll just arm my, I can't write, I'm in remote. I'll just arm that for now while there's nothing connected. So host sync is switched off and remote is switched off, because all I want to do is all I want to do, this has quite a good one actually if you press help. All I want to do is just check the levels for noir without this running. So with remote off and host sync off, AUM is not going to start this. And then we can go to noir and route the output of noir to mix bus A. And then we can see that in channel 3 here, I don't think you can see it, but in channel 3 is noir, but that won't make any difference. And if I monitor it now, we lose noir. And then it is our input, so we could make sure noir's a little bit louder. So let's stop. Let's do host sync again, and I'm going to do punch in and punch out again because I want it to stop. Now I don't have to have it stop. I don't have to have punch in, punch out on. I actually could just leave that switched off because it's basically going over the whole thing. And then at some point there, I'll just stop it, and then we could just fade it out or chop it or cut it or whatever we want to do with it. You know what I mean? So let's see. Let's close this in a little bit here so we can see the whole thing. We're all right now, so we're all engaged to do host sync. Recorder's armed. This is armed. Stereo is on, although I think noir is mono for some reason. But there you go. And then all we need to do now is basically press play, and it's going to start recording immediately. Noir is going to start recording immediately, completely in time with everything else. So we got it here. Manuals are useful, Stephen. I love a good manual. Ask Joe. Yes, I do. So at this point, you know, you could be stopping at any time sort of soon and turning it off or whatever. Right, so now we've got, that means that now, obviously, we can ditch noir, like that. Bye. And we've regained our CPU usage that noir was using. Now, it wasn't much. However, think of this, right? Say you've got like something like Black Hole running or Pure Synth, or you've got a couple of the Black Holes, a couple of other Eventide effects, or the TB reverbs and stuff like that. You've got a stack of stuff going, right? You've got this like link to all these different things. Once you've recorded them into multi-track, you can get rid of them. You don't need them anymore. Do you know what I mean? So we could actually do this again. Let's just zoom that and go up there. And we can fade noir in over quite a long period of time, actually, for what I want to do next. And then for this one, let me just take zoom off. For track 4 here, we'll arm it there. Now you can't record multiple tracks in like from different. It doesn't. It's a limitation of AUM. That, you know, it's not like or it's a limitation of AUV. I don't know, but it's not multi-track recorder's fault, obviously. So what's that? Nowadays, I read manuals before I buy stuff to know what I'm getting. So that's what I do. Plus, watch all the YouTube videos and all. Now, also, so we've got this now, but now say, okay, well, I want to record the drums in the same manner as I did the thing. So all we need to do is we don't need to worry about XOX because XOX is only playing Ruse Maker. We want to go this, mix bus A. Now, you see, guys, what's happening? We're just constantly decreasing the CPU load and making more space for more stuff. And that's what's genius. And just for fun, I'll go save song. And also at this point, I really should save the session. So I shall do that as well because I haven't saved it yet. So that'll do. Okay, so now we can do our test again. So let's take off host sync. I'm only taking off host sync so I'm not recording while I'm trying to monitor me input sort of thing, you know. So let's do that. But we could let's put that to the test, shall we? Let's put something. Let's put an effect on here. Let's put something like I don't. Oh, let's put one of Paul's on here since it's for his stuff. Let's put on my shimmer. I like shimmer. Now I don't know how this is going to sound, so we shall have to have a mess. Let me turn the volume down a little bit. I'm not host synced, I'm not remoted, so it's fine. I'm just monitoring. You see, we're on at 33%, right? What might be nice for this? Okay, that's nice. Yeah, but it's just it's a point, Paul, you know, I'm just making a point. Anyway, I love shimmer on drums. Got a problem with that? I'll put distortion on there. I'll put 25 shimmers on there if I want to. You can't stop me. Not from there. Right. Okay. So here's the thing. Right. You switch the correct track, but has to be switched manual. Is that right? Yes. Right. So I'm on track 4. I'm recording on track 4. I'm monitoring, so I know my monitors are. Cool beans. Hang on. Yeah. So all I need to do is switch host sync on because I'm recording. I'm not worried about having things go loop, loop, loop. Right, so do you know what? I think he might be right actually about the shimmer though. It might be a bit overkill. Let's see what could be nice for a bit of drums. Hey, bit of drums. Bit of reverb, bit of verb's okay. I could put the reverb in an air, but you know, for what it is. Oh, that's nice actually. Right, I'm going to stop this because look what I've done. I've armed everything and it started to record. So we can track 4. We can cut this and just cut. And it'll send it into the audio pool where it's completely not necessary and not used, so we can just tidy. Yes. And it'll get rid of it. It just keeps everything kind of organized, you know what I mean? So, right, track 4. We're going to go with, let me just taste this. I like that reverb. I'm not too clippy, am I? No, I'm not clippy at all. So that's great. So audio recorded, armed, host sync on to start it off, and we're going to hear Ruse Maker Noir fade in because it's got the fade on it. This is cool. Now the thing is, here we go. You can open as many multi-tracks as you want. So I could have an 80,000, 70 million channel mixer if my iPad would deal with it, which it wouldn't. But if I opened 2, I've got 16 tracks. If I open 4, I've got 32. It's an AUV3, and to be honest with you, the whole point of this is before multi-track, this was impossible. It was impossible. You couldn't do it because the only way you could do it was by recording all the individual tracks down here, sending them off to audio share, opening them up either as files or sending them into another door, and that was ultra hyper time consuming. The thing with multi-track is you could go into the audio pool, you can mix down, you can export, right, I'll do also as well while I'm here, I forgot to show, this is the most important, well, one of the most important and cool things is, let's go to our files app, open it, and honestly, I'm not really sure what's what here, but I'll just go with some horror effects for now because I don't, knock on door, okay? You just hold and then we can drag and drop it into the actual, okay, we'll just drag and drop the file into the Files app, and you'll see that we can play it. We could then place that anywhere in our mix that we want, obviously, just by picking it up there like this and then dropping it down onto the next track, or even whatever, but we'll drop it onto that track. And it's really small, so we'd have to expand it a bit, and maybe we could duplicate that and stuff, you know, and what have you. But let me just switch the post sync off. We could. So dragging and dropping files on is really cool as well. And also the fact that, yeah, it is AUV3, so you could just open another instance and literally just open another one. Call it the same thing if you want the thing. But, you know, that's something you can mess around with. The point is, it was just like even having a couple of tracks of recorded audio, and you've saved up all this other stuff. And if you want to, you can still set your record to something else and then do it like that. So, same session can. I haven't done all that, Sam. You'd have to ask Paul. But yeah, I don't see why not. You know, I don't see what your limitations are. Once you find workarounds for these things. But this is the whole point. You see, there was no way to do this in AUM. We can cut that as well. Cut it now because we don't need that there. Nothing to cut. I'll highlight. So I was thinking recording multiple instruments sources to separate tracks. I was thinking recording multiple sources to separate tracks in the same song. Hi Colin, how you doing? I think Sam, do you mean can I like arm like track 1 and track 2, or track 1 and have it all sending 2 different things to the same track? You can open like multiple instances of multi-track, but you can't record 2 separate instances into the same track. That's impossible. It's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 tracks, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I see what you mean. No, that's impossible. That's not nothing to do with multi-track. That's somewhere else. That's a limitation of either AUM or Interapp or some. I don't know. There's no way to record multiple outputs or something. Paul knows all about that. You can't record multiple. There's no AUV3 app that'll allow multiple outputs or something. It's a bit weird. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Could work if 4 sessions share the same pool. 4 different multi-tracks you could do. You can open as many multi-tracks as you want and then drag and drop things around and save them to the Files app and stuff like that. But anyway, that's just one of those things, isn't it? Paul's not even commenting now. He's not even commenting. Anyway, guys, listen, I'm going to go now. But there you go. I hope that was a general... I hope that helped you a little bit to get started. Must remember to save the song. Save the song. And yeah, epic. I think that's quite good, actually. And that's still... Oh, yeah, here's the point, you see. That's still Ruse Maker. We don't need that now, neither. So it's all needs to be just removed. And we can remove that MIDI channel. We don't need XOX. So all we're left with, that whole track now is taking up 4%, basically. We'll see what it does when it runs. We don't need to even worry about engaging host sync, but we could if we wanted to. We can just do it all from here. I mean, what is it, 5%? So you've freed up just one instance to construct the song. Yeah. Super duper. Cool beans. Top job. Guys, thanks very much for joining us this evening. Gosh, we've done over an hour. But you can't do something like this in 5 seconds, can you? I hope... Oh, thanks, DJ Hear Damage. I hope that you can join me again when I live stream again, or whatever I do tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not got a clue. Right. And a demo, yeah, I will definitely do a demo in NS2. But I haven't used it in NS2 yet, but I shall. So when I've sussed it out in that, I will as well. And when I've sussed it out a bit more as well, and we can do different things and stuff, I can. But that's the basic gist of it, guys. You know, it's just an easy way to record audio in AUM. And there wasn't a way to easily do that. I mean, you had Enzo, but Enzo's a looper. It's not like a linear DAW, which is what I really wanted, was like a linear DAW that we could just record stuff into, you know, which is just epic, I think. So I think Paul's done a splendid job personally. And, you know, it's just great. It's great stuff. It's great. You have different options here. You have like clip names. You can name the clips in the pool and stuff. And then you can normalize, you can reverse stuff, you can time stretch it, you can pitch shift it. It's all sorts of stuff we can do in future videos after, you know, you kind of get used to hearing everything. And, you know, it's what it does, and which is to record audio from AUM for as long as you want. But the different options have been able to loop, punch in, punch out, record, all sorts of different stuff, you know. Anyway, guys, I'm going. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks, Colin, for popping in at the end as well. And thanks also, Paul, for joining us and helping us out. Thanks, Sam, as well, and Andrew and Cy. Epic stuff. And Paul, lots of Pauls, Michael, everybody who joined us this evening. And yes, Paul does listen to everybody's ideas, like, so it's cool. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Ta-da.